Okay, we got a 2004 Ford Excursion. I'm going to do this quick video on how to troubleshoot the air conditioning system when things don't seem to be working right. First day I tried to use this AC this spring. All I was blowing was hot air, and you're not going to be able to see this, but way down in that dark dank hole down in there is the air conditioning compressor. And the problem is that you can't get at it. You can't see that. You can't get at the AC compressor, but if you were to look at it, on mine the pulley was turning but the clutch wasn't engaging, and so the compressor wasn't running. And if you get online, they tell you all sorts of things to try and troubleshoot. The first thing they say is you got to make sure you got enough Freon. Well, if you test the Freon, right here is the test port. That's where you, on your low pressure side, that's where you test the low pressure. And I had high pressure on that port, which is normal because when the thing is just sitting, it equalizes between the two systems. This is the low pressure side, and up here next to the radiator is the high pressure side. And if the air conditioner is just sitting, it equalizes. And I was showing 100 pounds of pressure on this low port side because the air conditioning compressor was not running and it wasn't functioning. So then everybody says, well, you need to test the low pressure switch. This is the low pressure switch on the Ford Excursion. To test it, you pop this clip, pull the wire off, and there's two pins right there. You can see the two that actually have a connector in them, and you jump across those two pins, and that's supposed to test your wiring down to your compressor. The problem with that theory is that's not necessarily the only problem that can cause an issue. So I tested the pins and discovered that I had 12 volts to the one pin and nothing to the other, which is normal. And so if you jump that like they tell you on the internet, it's supposed to turn the compressor on. Well, it didn't turn my compressor on. And so then I was left wondering, alright, what's the issue? So doing additional research, in addition to the low pressure switch, there's a fuse inside the, and I'm not going to show you the fuse because mine is just fine. Your owner's manual is going to show you the fuse box, and it explains which fuse is necessary to fire the clutch for the fan. What they also don't tell you is that there's also a separate junction box, and if you check your owner's manual, you will find no reference whatsoever to that relay right there. And that is the air conditioning relay. And if you pull that out, you will see that it has 3 prongs facing one direction and 2 prongs facing the other direction. And these 2 prongs are the 2 prongs that control the air conditioning clutch. And so if you jump between those 2 prongs, stick a wire in the 2 holes, that will engage your air conditioning clutch as well. But they don't show this particular fuse block, and they don't show that relay anywhere in the owner's manual, and I didn't find a good video of it on YouTube or any other real good reference to it. There's some references made to the F-250s, and that's kind of how I figured out that this thing had an air conditioning relay and what it does. And in my case, that air conditioning relay was bad, and so even though I had the right amount of voltage and electricity up there at that low pressure switch, my air conditioning compressor still wouldn't run until I replaced that relay. So that's how I ended up fixing my air conditioner when the compressor wouldn't turn.